Hello and welcome to this video of Soulful Parenting for 0 to 7-year-old. Now, let's talk something about adamant, a child being adamant. So what are the usual phrases or what are the usual statements that the parents use for a child? Like, she's always angry, she's always like rolling on the floor whenever we go to the supermarket, she always doesn't come to me when I call her for lunch, she always is lazy, she always is not neat, she always needs a lot of push, she always. So the point is, my child is so adamant is a phrase that the parent starts with. So here there are a couple of components. One thing is the word always, right? Just strike out that word from your mind, as in how we've got this kind of stuff in our mind, that the same thing that's actually being reflected on the person, be it your spouse, be it any other family member, or be it your child. I mean, of course, parenting is a very important aspect because we are kind of raising a new life, right? And we don't want to raise that new life with the old thoughts that we have. So strike out this word always. You know, people, anybody, even you're not always dirty, you're not always messy, you're not always lazy. Yes, there are times when you might feel lazy, there are times when you might feel motivated to do a lot of stuff, there are times where you might feel you want to take rest. So one is not always whatever you are kind of describing yourself, be it yourself or any other child, any other person. So yes, there are times, there are moments when one could feel a little different from the usual way, but we are not always that. So whenever you think my child is always this, again this kind of thought gets reflected in how your child is growing up. Right? And the second component, the first component is always, the word always. The second component is the use of the adjective. The adjective could be lazy or dirty or messy, not exactly dirty, messy, or adamant is another kind of descriptive word. Or what else is always angry, is always frustrating, or is always irritating. So right, always is one component, and the other component is the adjective. Again, whatever adjectives you are using them in your mind is the way you are seeing your child, is the lens through which you are seeing your child. Even though your child is not lazy, according to your child's perspective, you are finding him to be lazy, right? And somehow that gets reflected upon the way the child is growing up. So from your perspective, it could be adamant, but from the child's perspective, I'll tell you the funny bit here. So you are calling your child for, say, for the lunch, for whatever, the meal time, and your child is not coming to you. You feel your child is just adamant, he doesn't listen to you, he doesn't want to come to you when you call him, or your child is not coming, does not want to come back from his playtime. He wants to play a little longer. And then again, what is the perspective that's running in your mind? My child is adamant, my child just doesn't listen to me, my child just doesn't want to do what I ask him to do, and all that stuff. And remember what you are doing at that point of time? You've called him once, and then this kind of perspective is building up in your mind, and there is this monkey mind part of your mind that's kind of again pushing you. Okay, call him again. Okay, change your tone. Okay, yell at him again. Okay, pull him back to you wherever you are. You just can't leave him like that. He's going out of your control. You have to control him. You have to get him back. He has to listen to you no matter what. So that's the pain body talking to you. That's your monkey mind talking to you. And now, what happens in that process? You are again calling your child. Maybe you're changing your tone, you're becoming a little aggressive. Even though I don't know if aggressive is the right term for you, but the point is this: you are repeatedly calling your child just because you want him to come back. Now, while you are thinking that your child is adamant to you, your child is thinking you are adamant to your child. How funny is it, right? So what is going on in your child's mind? Your child may be thinking, oh my God, my mother is so adamant, she keeps on nagging me, she keeps on pushing me, she keeps on telling something repeatedly, right? So the situation is the same, the impressions are different. the situation is the same, the perspectives are different. While you are thinking your child is adamant, your child is thinking you are adamant. So who's wrong? Who's at fault? Nobody is at fault. The point is this: instead of you listening to this monkey mind here, just listen to what your intuition is telling you. Just listen to what's actually coming out from your soul. And for that, yes, you have to be connected to your intuition, to your soul. And there's a whole lot of stuff that is actually needed for you to listen to your intuition. You have to heal your pain body. You have to make peace with whatever has happened. You have to make peace with your monkey mind, and then you get closer to your intuition, and you will ultimately listen to what your intuition is saying you. So there is a twofold benefit here. One is you know the reason and you know how to respond, not just react. And your child is being guided by that soulful parent, right? So your child will not, your child will be connected to his or her intuition better. When you are connected to your intuition better, the same thing is also can be seen in your child. So if it's not connection between intuition, if it's not connection to your true self, your intuition, all of that stuff, it just becomes a battle between egos. Don't you think so? Oh, she's so adamant is what the child thinks, and then my child is so adamant is what you think. Maybe you are making discussion in your circle about your child. Maybe your child is making a discussion about you with his friends, right? It just becomes a battle between egos. How do you want to see this life? How do you want to see such experiences? How do you want to provide experiences to your child? That is what matters the most. So starting from this moment, after watching this video, just resolve to yourself that you wouldn't be using any labels or always words with respect to your child, and even with respect to you or with respect to any other family member, because that's how, whatever image that you have in your eyes, it is through that lens that you are looking at that person, and ultimately that person will be the same, will be exactly how the way you think. So only when we change the mental picture here will the reality change. So yeah, that was about today's video. Comment what is your just one learning from this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.